Welcome to Made in Asia, a new podcast series by Lifestyle Asia. And today, we have a very special guest. Our true squash legend, Nicol David, is in the house. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm truly honored.
We're going to start by having you introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Nicol David and I'm from Penang, Malaysia. And I've been a former world squash champion, 8-time squash champion. And I played for Malaysia for 20 years.
20 years.
Pretty much throughout my whole half of my first life. And I won 81 titles in my name and also 10 Asian Championship titles. And I've also won 2 Commonwealth gold medals and 5 Asian Games gold medals.
And the list goes on.
And actually my biggest achievement will have to be being at world number 1 for 9 straight consecutive years.
Yeah, so that and also an 8-time world champion.
Absolutely, yeah.
Beyond that, can you tell us something that we don't know about you?
Well, something you wouldn't know about me, I would say, well, I love R&B hip hop and I will just listen to it all day when I was growing up and into my squash career. And I love street dancing. So if there's any chance that I can become a backup dancer for a top band or something, just call me. That's my future dream come true. If
so
that's
you
possible.
dance?
Yeah, I would love to do more, but I did a bit of street dancing, like basic street dancing.
Okay, that's interesting. And speaking about legend, right? You've always been referred to as a legend in world of sports. Do you like being called legend?
It is a little bit strange at first, but when you kind of come out of the picture and finally retired, you realize how much you have contributed to the sport and all that I've achieved has come to this point where I did get that legendary status. So I'm truly proud now finally about being called a legend, and when it's being said, I'm not so shy about it anymore.
Okay. Does it take a long while for you to get used to it?
It does, but in time, I still need to also embrace it and know that this is what I've achieved, and this is what I've achieved for myself, but also for my country, and also for the world of squash.
And you mentioned it's about being in this sport for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And 20 years ago, you actually won your first world championship title in 2005.
Yeah, exactly. 20
Do you
years.
remember that moment?
Yeah, I can remember it very clearly. I was 22 years old in Hong Kong. It was the Harbourfront, and I was just there, not expected to get to the finals. My parents are there, and some Penang supporters as well were supporting me from outside. But when I was in the court, all I could think about was just really fighting for every point and running my heart out to just get to every shot that I could think of. And the match kept going. It was very close. I was playing Rachel Grinham in the finals from Australia, and she was at the time, the top 3 as well. And so I was just running and hoping for the best because nothing was expected of me. I wasn't expected to win. Yeah. But the minute I won that last point and I got that world title, and I was just speechless. I couldn't really talk much. I was just a little bit in the clouds for a while because all my dreams came true. Even my parents keep saying that they took the wrong train back because they were still in cloud 9 as well. So it was truly a memorable moment for me because I felt that as a Malaysian at 22 years old, I broke the glass ceiling. You know, I could just do anything right now, and the world is out there for me to explore even further.
Let's fast forward 20 years later. Post-retirement, was there a lot for you to have to unlearn?
After my post-retirement, not much to unlearn, but more to build. I would say just to build on skills, to build on getting to know about myself better in terms of being outside the identity of a squash player or an athlete, because everyone is seeing you as that's all you do. So how do I take myself away from that? I have to actually learn to be not that athlete anymore and to focus on my next phase, which is my philanthropy side and working in my foundation, the Nicol David Organisation.
But it's still hard for someone to separate you from squash, right?
Absolutely. It's just what you see is I'm a squash legend, and that's all they probably think of. So for me, I was thinking the same way, but now post retirement, I had to just learn a lot of things, to set up my own foundation from scratch, whether it's financial, whether it's doing anything in terms of communication, learning how to put a company together. All of those things, I had to do an MBA, like full on of life to learn the joys of what is not being an athlete all about.
And how long has it been since your retirement?
It's been almost 6 years. In May, I was my last tournament in the British Open in 2019.
Yeah.
And I mean, it felt like last year when I retired, but everything has happened so fast.
And COVID happened as well.
Yes, COVID happened. And that 2 years, I was in the midst of just putting plans together and preparing for my what's to come for my foundation.
Right. Since retiring 6 years ago, what have been some of the biggest challenges and takeaways transitioning from retirement to establishing yourself and establishing your foundation and so many other things that you have done?
Yeah, the biggest challenge was firstly to find my identity away from it. It was a tough emotional turmoil coming into the grasp of retirement, and just as I was retiring, that 2 years before that, I had to go through a very tough phase in my career where I had to let go of squash and come into that new opportunity to open in my mind that I can do so much more than just squash. And when I finally retired, that's when I used all my squash abilities and skills, like resilience, being disciplined, having the ability to adapt, all these skills that I can bring forward. I can now master it and bring it to my next phase of my life. And that's the challenge was there, but that helped me to transition to the new life that I have to face.
So let's speak about your organization, the Nicol David Organisation, and the role that it plays in the community. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the organization is?
So the Nicol David Organisation, we launched it, like Mariana and myself, my co-founder and CEO, 2.5 years ago. And the objective is really to empower children, girls and boys, through sport and education. So that was the initial start. And so our first flagship program is called Little Legends. And we give an after-school program for low to mid-income children, squash training and English classes. So they come to our facility in Bukit Jalil twice a week, 1 hour squash and 1 hour of English. And that's our main focus. And we have kids from ages 8 years old up to 10. So the entry point is from 8, and we see them through a 5-year journey with us. So that is Little Legends. And we have about 135 children in the foundation currently. Yeah, a lot. So we have 3 cohorts right now. But in the process, we realized that we needed to help the ecosystem. And so we reached out to the moms. And now we have launched a new program called Ibu Legends. And it was launched last year. And we focus on the mothers of the children. So we give free medical checkups. And we give mental health workshops, parenting workshops, physical education and nutrition workshops. That's the first phase where they look after themselves. So like their self-care, their mental health, their well-being. And once they can do that, then they can face the next thing. Like whether it's looking after their family, whatever they want to do in their own career as a housewife, anything or even communicating with their husbands, they have the ability to now, and the tools to be resilient and to move forward. So then the second phase, they will learn about financial literacy, education, and also some entrepreneurship skills to help them probably to set up something in their future. So there's 2 phases in that. So that's our Ibu Legends. So we got our 2 flagship programs right now, which is taking up a lot of my time, but it's an amazing, fulfilling journey that
It
has come
sounds
through.
so fulfilling, especially that's the right word to say. But what gave you the idea to actually start this?
Just to have a positive future for our kids, firstly. In my mind, sport has given me so many things, especially the values of sport. You learn how to be respectful to others, you have to be disciplined and being resilient, and also being confident. You know, when you have a sport and you have an identity, you get so confident of what you know, and you have to bounce back from the loss. Learning a sport, something that is not very common to many from the beginning, you need to find ways to come back, always finding a way
And
to
deal with rejection in a way is similar, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think all the values of sport really can shape someone to for the rest of their life. And that's where I thought all my years of experience in squash and in my sports career, why not I can pass it on to the next generation? And that was the initial plan, to have a positive future for our younger generation, and that's where the stem came from. But now, when you open that little bag of like, oh, I'm helping the kids, everything else around it, you need to feel like there's so many elements needs to be put in to help everyone else around
and you
that one
start
kid.
to find the missing puzzles and the missing pieces.
So you want to help everyone,
loopholes.
basically.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Tell our audience, like, how do you sign up to be part of Little Legends? I'm curious as well.
So you can, like, mostly we have 4 partner schools. They're all around Bukit Jalil and Sri Petaling, because then we offer transport. So we'll pick them up from school and bring them back. So we work with the public schools to come in. So that's predominantly the way we recruit children, but we also have our online entries. So they can go on our website, which is the Nicol David Organisation.org, and they can put their names in, and they have to start when they're 8 years old in standard 2, and then just sign in and see if we have availability. Right now, we are kind of maxed out, and it's unfortunately we cannot take on more because we only have 3 squash courts and our 2 classroom spaces, so we are quite maxed out. But and also for the mothers program, it's mostly catered to the mothers of the children already existing in the program. But we hope that we can open more programs to come, and so stay tuned.
So are you also involved on ground when it comes to running the workshops and classes?
Yes, so I'm the program director of Little Legends. So I oversee the English and squash programs. So our teachers and our coaches will be dealing directly with me, and then anything in terms of operations, I will be overseeing with them currently. And then with Ibu Legends, I will be also on the ground with Mariana that takes over the other programs and like new programs, development programs to come. I will be also involved. So I'm also hands-on on like the lesson plan development, on anything that we need to do in terms of recruiting, meeting but mostly on the outside. We actually have to look for funding, and that's really my main also job to look out for the right partners to come in and that they are suitable for NDO.
If I would like to volunteer as part of the teaching program, can I do so?
You could. Right now, we also have it online. You can also sign up as a volunteer. But our volunteering projects come according to project base. So it's not like a continuous, the full year. So only when we have opportunities to offer, whether we take our kids to an outing, whether it's a squash competition, and if we need volunteers, that's where we will reach out to our portal to see who is willing to come on board.
Amazing. So let's maybe touch a little bit on the community as a whole. Like you mentioned, I think you have established, just with the organization itself, a community of mothers and children. How do you think you have played this important role in this community? Do you think it's something that has changed your life personally?
Yeah, I always say that, squash is a big part of my life, and I owe it to squash to all the achievements I've achieved. But what I'm doing now means so much more to me than I can ever think of. Just running the foundation, just meeting our kids and seeing them play squash, having the mothers being so excited to come to our workshops and to be there to just be amongst other moms in the community, and the things that they learn from what we are offering, and how confident and resilient that they are able to come out of their shell to share these small stories, or these things that they are experiencing. You don't see it just because you are part of it, and you actually contributed to something so much bigger than just playing, just doing one thing. So I am so grateful that I have the platform, that I can actually reach out to more, and that's why I want to do so much more through the
And you
foundation.
create such a like-minded community, right? That
Yes.
everybody is on the same bandwidth, trying to inspire each other to take the next step.
Yeah, we've created a safe space
Yeah.
for the kids to play squash and to learn to speak English, to have a sense of community through NDO. They come to our foundation, and it's like the happy place after school. And with the mothers, they're all looking forward to that workshop, to get together, hang out, catch up about all the gossip that they missed out, and they feel like they're not alone, because in the process we realize how mothers can be so alone, and they feel like they are by themselves all the time, and that's where the feeling of wanting to get them to have the sense of community came about, and to teach them and to give them a chance to learn and explore and be just happy with being a mother. And now you see them just like a weight lifted off their shoulders.
Do you have a favorite moment that you remembered most of the people in your community?
So there's this one time, a mom, she had an accident on a motorbike, and 2 days later we saw a message from the husband, and he was saying that, she's met into an accident in our chat group, like the mom's chat group, and he updated us that she got into an accident. And then we were also worried for her, and we were sending all best messages to the husband. And then later on, she actually started chatting with us, and she was so happy that she could just speak to us and said how she was so down because she felt like she didn't look so nice because of the accident really like affected her face, and she felt like, why do I need to be here? But all of you in this group has made me felt that I need to be here because of all of you. And she even shared in one of the workshops that, all of you here have given me that the space to realize I deserve to be here and not just waste my life away and thinking that I don't need to look after anything else. I just want to leave this world. But all of you here have made me realize that my life matters. And that's where it all hit us, that this community is so special.
Yeah, it is. Because I think beyond the community, a lot of people can relate to things like that.
Yeah.
And we're talking about cancer survivors, we are talking about people going through abuse or mental health issues. I think sometimes it's having that community that you can count on,
Yes.
that you can reach out to. And in your own words, maybe you can tell us why community is so important to you.
Well, we are all made up of one community, like that we are brought up with. I was from Penang. I have a community there. My family was my strongest community, my unit of positivity that I grew up in, just free to dream big, to push the barriers, to do whatever I want to do, and without any boundaries. I've always had that positive environment and a community with my training base in Amsterdam when I was 18,
Yep.
all throughout my journey in my professional career. And when you have that community that you around you that is just for you, that is encouraging, that is there solely to support you, that's so important. And I want to create that community the same way in NDO with our kids, our moms, of course our dads as well, and so much more, because then that community feels like they belong, they are encouraged, they're fully respected,
Yeah.
and they are supported. And that's what they need the most. What they need is what we can hopefully give them as much
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah. And do you have anything that you like to say to your community?
Well, I think to just give a word of advice to everyone that when you have a chance to be in a community, you have to choose the right one. And the community that you choose actually exemplifies who you are. And that's the way that you know that you are going to be that person that shapes you. It's the community that surrounds you. So pick your community wisely, and always find that positive environment around you, those that are there to support you, encourage you, nurture you, and not there to take you down. So I just want to say to my community as well that they are just truly special to me, and I always want to give my utmost best for them.
And what do you hope to see in the community that you are in the near future?
Well, I hope to see them just grow, especially the kids, to grow to be great kids, have good values, can speak English well, open opportunities for them in their future, but also our mothers to just be strong, resilient moms that know what their rights are, what they can do to look after their families, and also for themselves. And hopefully that they can pave the way for more mothers out there to be ambassadors and to be role models for all in the future.
And they inspire their communities as well.
Absolutely.
All right, so I got one very tough question now
Okay.
to ask you. If you could do this all over again, back to where you started, would you?
Yeah, I'll do it all over again. I won't change anything.
It's been an amazing journey, right?
Yeah, I think I feel that my squash journey has given also a chance for me to give back to my country and to show that Malaysia can make it happen. They can be at the world stage. They can do whatever it takes, and especially for women to just know that us Malaysian women can make it happen.
I mean, we are so proud of you, and we are such a sport nation where we are really sitting down in front of the TV supporting our athletes overseas. I think that's really somehow is a Malaysian culture. Would you say so?
Yeah, I think everyone unites when it comes to supporting our national athletes, and we need more of that. And I think anytime we just hope that we can just support more of our athletes in our Malaysian in anything, not just in sport but in all walks of life, that they can just do the nation proud, I feel.
And speaking about being proud, like on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you find yourself right now?
I am in 10 and a half because
okay.
because
the
I'm
scale
like
is...
over the scale. I feel like my life is so fulfilling. I can't say it more because I feel that I'm doing everything from my heart, and I wish I can I can give more, but I can only do as much as I can right now, and I hope to keep doing as much as I can for more people.
Okay, and I promise this is the last question.
Okay.
What would you say to 6-year-old Nicol?
That's me. Well, I would say to this 6-year-old Nicol that she's done Malaysia proud, and also myself proud, and at least I have teeth. Not real, but it's true. So I'm very proud of that little one.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
speaking to us today. That's it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so
and
much.
I can keep this right.
We'll figure that out.
It out.